How's everyone doing? Welcome to another top 10. Today we're counting down the top 10 most human-like Pokemon. This is going to be an interesting one. So today we're taking all the Pokemon and we're going to pick out of the 1,000 of them, which 10 look more like people than any others. I'm going to tell you, this list comes right off of the internet. It is not my own personal list. And some of these are going to throw you off a little bit, especially number 1. There's a couple Pokemon that I believe should be on this list, but they didn't make the top 10 and I don't know why. I would like to know why, but I don't know why. Before we get into today's video, I want to remind everyone, if you haven't yet, please go ahead and do me that favor and hit that like button along with subscribing to the channel if you haven't yet. It'd be much appreciated. Comment at the end of this video down below what Pokemon you think is the most human-like Pokemon and if you think there's a Pokemon that should have been on this list. Don't forget, we also have membership options for anybody available, so check those out. You don't have to be a member to look at them, but some of them might pique your curiosity. And we got a merch shop. That's in the description down below. Check out the different designs, hoodies, t-shirts, pants, mugs, bumper stickers, you name it. We have it in the merch shop, and let me know what you think. Now, let's get into today's top 10 most human-like Pokemon. It's going to be a weird one. All right, at number 10, starting things off with one who I didn't think would even make the list, is Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan is a fully clothed boxer with actual boxing gloves, as you can plainly see, attached to him. The weirdest part is that it looks like it's wearing clothes, but those parts are part of his body. It's a weird issue Pokemon design have had since the beginning. Hitmonchan looks so human-like that it crosses the threshold and becomes more easily digestible as a design overall. One can argue that out of all the crazy evolutions, Hitmonchan is the most human-like, but at the same time is the least off-putting. Now we have ourselves number 9. Number 9, again, I did not think was going to make the list, and that is going to be Blaziken. Was not expecting him to be on this list at all. Blaziken looks less like the fully evolved form of a fire-imbued chicken and much more like a human luchador wrestler. Its long flowing blonde hair accommodated by the red and yellow bell-bottom jeans that makes this thing look like the tag partner of the popular wrestlers such as Rey Mysterio Jr. or Eddie Guerrero. Blaziken, on average, happens to be around 6'3" in height, and which is normal for male humans. Blaziken is a human masquerading as a final fire starter evolution that shouldn't sit right with anybody. Number 8. I can see this guy as being in the top 10, but I wouldn't put him as number 8, maybe 10. And that is Lucario. Lucario may be indeed be bipedal, sure, but it's the fact that it happens to be the most empathetic creature in the world of Pokemon that makes it human-like. Empathy is a very human emotion, and that's very rarely observed in nature. The fact that there's a Pokemon that can feel and understand another living thing's emotion, including humans, makes it way too human-like to exist. Not only can Lucario feel emotions and auroras, but it can also control them with enough skill, time, and practice, which is terrifying in its own right. Next up, we have the Bruce Lee of humanoid Pokemon, and that is Sawk. Sawk and its counterpart Thrower are the Muppets Bert and Ernie cosplaying as mixed martial artists in karate gis. Sawk isn't as thick and bulbous as Thor and registers much more like a human. Like with Hitmonchan, it's super weird that a piece of human clothing is a part of Sawk's body and serves as a special type of exoskeleton. Since it's a fighting type, it mostly uses physical attacks, which makes it less mythical and has it feeling like a human is in the ring battling against Pokemon. Number 6, I definitely think should be on this list, and that is going to be Machoke. The more you stop and stare at Machoke, the more you realize how much it resembles many of the character designs in the critically panned Super Mario Bros. Movie. Machoke's design is very much a human powerlifter that sports a championship belt and has the head of a dinosaur or reptile. Thankfully, the head makes it so odd that it is no longer registered as too human-like. But if you cover it with your hand, you're staring at a discolored male human. Evolve Machoke as quickly as possible and never deal with this issue again. Number 5, we got Thor. Thor is the stumpier counterpart to the previously mentioned Sock. His skinnier and blue-colored counterpart, Thor, is much wider and thicker than Sock, and eerily has the same body shape and proportions as famed actor Danny DeVito. Like Sock, Thor looks like it's wearing a karate gi, but the human clothing is a part of its body. It's one of the oddest parts of Pokemon and can pull people out when it comes to immersion and wanting to feel like you're a real trainer in the real world. Number 4, would never have guessed this guy to be number 4, but he is, and that is Hitmonlee. Hitmonlee, no way to me looks like yes, it has people, but it's got 3 fingers, 3 toes, and its head is the body, so I don't understand. But we've already talked about Hitmonchan. Now let's talk about its kicking counterpart as Hitmonlee. Though Hitmonchan is more human-like in appearance, the fact that Hitmonlee is essentially a human without a head and eyes in its chest makes it much more off-putting. If you watch enough anime, your mind can play off Hitmonchan's look, but if Hitmonlee existed, it'd be hard to look at him for more than a couple of seconds. The more you look at it, the more terrifying it becomes, which justifies its existence. Number 3. This one's kind of a bit off-putting, but I guess you could put it on here, is Cinderace. Cinderace happens to be a bipedal rabbit, which isn't very human-like considering various animals are bipedal. The human parts of Cinderace have to do with its mannerism and overall design. It may appear to simply be a rabbit, but a deeper look will showcase what happens to be a soccer player trapped in the body of an animal. The soccer-style movements it does for moves, it may seem cool, but they're so human-like that it starts to come off in a very off-putting and disturbing way that makes you want to run away. Number 2 is probably the most terrifying human-like Pokemon, and to this day still gives children and adults who started watching Pokemon in the late 90s horrible nightmares. That is Mr. Mime. Your worst nightmare, aka Ash's dad. Mr. Mime happens to be the weirdest and often creepiest Pokemon around. Most people consider it to be the most off-putting creature in the franchise, which is largely due to his resemblance to an actual human being. Thankfully, the recently released film Detective Pikachu helped make the thing more comedic and approachable. But no one would want to run into that in a dark alley. It seems that the only person that understands Mr. Mime on a deeper level is Ash's mom from the anime, aka it's because it's Ash's dad. Durr. And the number 1 most human-like Pokemon still shocks me that it's on this list, but it is Mewtwo. Yeah, Mewtwo. Don't really see too much, but let's dive into why he's number 1. It's unclear what exactly happened during the creation of Mewtwo, but evidence suggests it was created from the combination of DNA from both humans and the legendary Pokemon known as Mew. Considering its telekinetic abilities and capable of intelligent thought, it's hard not to consider Mewtwo the most human-like Pokemon in existence. Speaking of existence, it questions its existence and purpose, which isn't something that most living things outside of human beings do. Mewtwo's too smart for its own good and is a danger to humans by simply existing among them. And that is the top 10 most human-like Pokemon. If you found this list to be weird and creepy, don't worry, you are not alone. So don't forget to comment down below which Pokemon you think is the weirdest human-like Pokemon and which humanoid type Pokemon you think should have been on this list. Don't forget to comment that down below, as long as liking this video and hitting that subscribe button. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Don't forget, if you know the saying, say it with me, let's make Hollows great again and keep poking on. Don't forget, we got membership options, so check that out and hit up that merch shop. Let me know what you guys think of the designs. Until next time, peace out and have a great rest of your day.